Have you ever wondered why some people seem more prone to addiction than others? Could it be that the experiences we go through, particularly traumatic ones, leave an indelible mark on our brains, pushing us closer to the edge of addiction? Consider the brain as a complex, well-oiled machine. In a brain not exposed to trauma, we have cortisol, the stress hormone, which kicks into action when we're in crisis, fueling our fight or flight response. But when the crisis is over, cortisol production should taper off. Now imagine a brain that's been exposed to trauma. It's like a car alarm that won't stop blaring, even when there's no threat in sight. The cortisol keeps pumping, leaving the individual in a constant state of high alert, veering between states of hyperalertness and fatigue. This relentless state of stress can lead to a host of mental health issues, from depression and anxiety to PTSD and cardiovascular disease. But the effects of trauma don't stop at cortisol imbalance. They reach into every corner of the brain, from the control center in the frontal cortex to the emotional hub in the amygdala. Trauma can even reduce activity in regions responsible for memory and learning, and disrupt the balance of neurochemicals that keep our moods steady. While these changes don't directly lead to substance abuse or addiction, they do pave the way to mental health disorders that are strongly associated with drug and alcohol misuse. When faced with constant anxiety, fatigue, strained relationships, and impaired work performance, substances like drugs or alcohol might seem like an appealing escape. But this short-lived relief quickly spirals into dependency and addiction, creating a vicious cycle of substance abuse that exacerbates the underlying mental health issues. Over time, the cumulative effects of substance abuse build up, causing both physical harm and worsening the psychological effects of the underlying mental health disorders. This vicious cycle of trauma, mental health disorders, and addiction continues to spin, creating a complex web of issues that require intervention. In essence, the link between trauma and addiction is much more than a simple cause and effect relationship. It's a dance between brain chemistry, personal experiences, and mental health, a dance that can lead to a dangerous path of addiction. But with understanding and intervention, there's hope to break the cycle and find a path towards healing and recovery. As we continue to unravel the complex relationship between trauma and addiction, it's essential to remember that everyone's journey is unique. We all have different experiences, different traumas, and different ways of dealing with those traumas. In this section, we'll explore some strategies for healing and recovery that have proven effective for many. These include cognitive behavioral therapy, which aims to change patterns of thinking or behavior that are behind one's difficulties, and medication-assisted treatment, which can help ease withdrawal symptoms and reduce cravings. Another important aspect of recovery is self-care. This includes taking care of your physical health through regular exercise and a well-balanced diet, as well as caring for your mental health through mindfulness practices and stress management techniques. Lastly, remember that you're not alone. Reaching out to supportive friends and family members can provide a lifeline during tough times, and there are many organizations and support groups out there who can help. Remember, breaking the cycle of trauma and addiction is possible, and with the right support and resources, you can find your path towards healing and recovery.